Hi, how you doing? Okay, now got the belts cut, so let's get them put on the chair. And there we go. Now, as you can see, I got it on the back. Okay. You got the sprocket back here. I guess you'd call that a sprocket. A little different from like the ones on a bicycle. But to do this, you can jack the chair up, or I just rolled the tire right over top of it. So yeah, that works. But let's see. Yeah, that's the panel I've got to take off. And like I said, nice and easy. Oh, I guess that maybe I should have gone through and cracked these before I started filming. Oh well, live and learn. Oh, blasted. And actually, just to be on the little smarter side, I'm gonna go grab some what do you call it? Liquid wrench, and spray a little of that on there and see if I can help these free up a little easier. Less likely to strip out the holes for the Allen wrench, because yeah, if I did that, that would really be bad. So anyways, okay, I'll be back. Well, now I get to show you what to do uh, when you end up stripping out the hole. Yeah, anyways, uh, I swear there's a that's what she said joke in there somewhere. Okay. Now I got 3 out of 4 of them okay, but this one's giving me some arguments, but I cracked it. That one and that one are fine. This little bugger down here. Yeah. Well, that's the fun of having a Dremel. Okay, now I think the idea is to make a space big enough, or a cross big enough, that I can fit a number 3 Phillips screw head or screwdriver tip into it. But I don't think that the my diamond wheel on my Dremel here is thick enough to create wide enough spaces. But I'll find out in a second. Actually, let's try a flathead first. See if... No, that's not going to fit. Actually, that looks like a number 2, so let's give that a try. No. No, the number 2 is too small. I'm going to have to, yeah, I'll have to switch out the cutting wheels for something a little thicker and go from there. Hey, okay, try this again. Gotta love technical difficulties. Yay. Okay, now tried fixing it on the other side, ran into problems, stripped out one of the screws. Gotta love having a Dremel. It's a lifesaver. Okay, so this side over here, I should be able to change out with too much difficulty because I just changed the belt on this side roughly a month or something, month ago, roughly. Okay, so now there we go. Okay. Oh, missed it. So we've got a 1, 2, 3. And as I'm sure you can see, one of these is not like the other. Whoever had this thing, well, sometime in its life, swapped out the stock screw for this thing. So yeah. Anyways, all right. So this should wiggle right off. There we go. And looks like I picked up some shrubbery in my drivings. Gotta love having a good quality Kirby vacuum. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now that big guy there, that's the electric brake, and you got the sprockets right here. Now, the easiest way to loosen up the motor, and I apologize, there's not much light in here, but there is a bracket right here. There you go. Now that popped loose. Now the motor's, well, looser. Okay, anyways, that should allow me to get, and of course, gotta love it. Okay. But yeah, this should allow me to get the belt off more easily. At least easier than it would have otherwise. Which, frankly, I'm tempted to grab a knife and just cut it, because, yeah, this one is not in good shape. But, in a pinch, there we go. Even with as bad a shape as this belt is in, it's, in a pinch, better than nothing at all. So, okay, so we've got that belt. And as I drop the old belt, okay, and I'm just wheeling the chair over top of the new belt. Get the brake out of the way. Now, if you remember from the other video, this new belt is a little bit longer. You can see pretty significant difference. So, this is where, after I get this put back together, I'll show you how to make the adjustments. Of which, to be honest, this side is a little jerry-rigged. It doesn't have the right size screw in where this bracket would attach. Let's see, can you see that on there? Yeah, this bracket over here. It's the tensioning bracket, or whatever they would call it. But I gotta see if I can find a nut and screw, or just a nut for this bolt, and get that to tension properly. Okay, so you get the emergency, or you get the electric brake lined up. You gotta line this up with this. And just kind of wiggle it, twist and turn, and all that fun stuff. There we go. Now, get this bad boy lined back up, and go ahead and proceed putting the screws back in to get this bracket, or this panel, whatever you call it, back on. Yes, I tend to drop stuff. Looks like I broke a very important rule. Not paying for it. I tightened one of the bolts down before getting all four in where they belong. There we go. Okay, that was a little tight, but that should be okay. And it's just tight because this panel is a little out of alignment, but that's okay. Yep, yeah, it's turning, no problem. So, since we got all four bolts in, go ahead and tighten down. There we go. Come on. Yes, I talk to inanimate objects. Kind of like me talking to a camera right now. Let's see. Now this one, it's a pretty cheap screw. They're bolts or whatever, you know what I mean. And if you don't, you shouldn't be taking these things apart. But yeah, this is, I believe, just aluminum. It's pretty soft. The threading on it has already been damaged, so I don't try and crank that one down at all. Okay. Now, I'm going to try. Oops. Okay. Trying to get this thing to move and turn without stressing the belt. So I'm trying to compromise a little and have, there we go, have the motor turning. There we go. While I'm trying to move the chair. Or while I'm trying to push the chair, I should say. Okay, so now this is the bracket. Let me try turning it a little bit more. Try to get a little more light. Oh, gosh. There we go. Yeah, that's a little better, I suppose. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Much lighter. Okay, yeah, this is the bracket I was talking about. And don't mind the wire hanging loose. That's got to be repaired. So, remember this little guy right here. This would come through right there. That would go on like so. And this little guy right here would turn. This bar right here, this thing, it's there's only a ball at the far end in here, so this can turn pretty freely. Now the idea, gotta love liquid wrench. Okay, there we go. Now, all right, bear with me a second. Okay, try and loosen this up a little bit, work and get that liquid wrench worked in, free up the threading, because goodness knows when this was actually turned, probably quite a long time ago, well long before I got the chair. There we go. Now where I'm holding with the wrench right here, there's no thread. So obviously if there was threading there, I wouldn't want to be using a pair of pliers, because, yeah, that would be a bad thing. Because it would obviously shred the heck out of the threading, making it completely unusable if you should need to. Alrighty. Now this is a little cheat. Now forgive me if I'm talking too loud. I've never tried using the camera and the Dremel at the same time, so I don't know how well you can hear me. So I'm just going to talk really loud. Alright, but this is a favorite trick of mine, and I'm sure many other people. Make the end of the screw like that, since there's no kind of bolt or nut head. Kind of cut a little thing into it, a little groove or whatever you want to call it. So that way you can use a flathead screwdriver to turn it. Hopefully. Yeah, it's pretty well. It's not wanting to turn. Actually, you know what? Let me make that a little deeper. And you should never rush, because otherwise you make mistakes like I just did, and I got the little groove off center. But that should be okay. It's kind of mistake you want to avoid making, but if you do make it, it's not the end of the world. Okay. Now, if you notice also, the cutoff wheel for this Dremel is obviously not supposed to be that tiny, but it's supposed to be that big. And at one point it was. But I like to keep my old ones that are trimmed down. Sometimes you need a small one to get into tight spaces. So, all right. Let's see how well this worked. And maybe not. Oh, there we go. Evidently, I hit a bad spot. Oh, geez Louise. Such simple mistake. There was a nut on the backside of this that I neglected to move out of my way before I tried tightening this thing. Okay. There we go. Let's hopefully... Come on. Can't get it to hold still. So I can turn this nut. And there we go. Yeah, this isn't helping either. Lovely. Okay, well, I may have to do some fighting with... Do some fighting with that nut to get that freed up. But let's find out if I can get away with not having to. By putting that bracket in its place. And see if where I need it to be is within the range of where it is willing to go. Yeah, that's certainly not it. That's as far as it'll go. And as they say, survey says, oh, not even close. Bummer, dude. So that means more surgery and some fighting with inanimate objects. Always a fun thing. Not. Okay. Now, after some wire brushing, some liquid or some penetrating oil, and a pair of vice grips, I got that taken care of. I also went through and I found, now you remember this little guy? Well, I found replacement, so that way it'll have a nut on there like it's supposed to. And, all right, so let's get this in place. And actually, I can go ahead and take these vice grips off now. Had to, there we go. Had to fight with it a little bit. And needed a better grip than what those pliers were giving me. Let's see. Let me loosen this up just a little bit. There we go. Now let's see. Now, as opposed to the other side, I went through and I put the nut on the inside in here. This one I've got to do the other side, the other way around, just because I'm using a wing nut, and a wing nut would not function too easily inside this bracket. So, kind of thing. You get it to work. Sometimes you got to make some improvisation. Or improvise. Whatever the word is. English major, I am not. Okay. Alright, that's tightened down nice and tight. Now, that's really tight. Ooh, a little too tight. Okay, so let's loosen this up. Don't want to have that belt snap on me. That would not be good. There we go. Let's do just a hair more. There we go. Now, unfortunately, I don't know exactly what kind of, or what the tension should be on it, but I'm just kind of approximating. I've never worked with timing belts before, but I'm just kind of going by the feeling of what you'd want for like a fan belt. Those I've replaced. Okay, so that's about it. That's about how you replace a belt on one of these chairs. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I think I'm going to set up a Patreon account. Just, I don't know, if by some fluke somebody likes what they saw and wants to send me a couple bucks, or heck, a couple cents or nothing, I don't care. Comes in handy, most definitely. Hey, all you single parents out there, you know what I'm talking about. Alrighty, take care, have a great day, thanks for watching, and keep on making.